Namaskar. So till date, we've seen the various monophasic preparations, including additive like syrup, flavored syrup, medicated syrups like Vasaka syrup, peppermint syrup. In the elixirs, we've seen the peppermint elixir. And today we'll see the piperazine citrate elixir. So we've seen the concepts, formulation concepts of all these, but intentionally I not discussed much on compounding part. So in the compounding part, what is important is order of mixing. And I told you, it depends on different criteria. The first is the solubility. The drug is soluble in which solvent is more important. And in that solvent, usually we dissolve. Whether it requires heating to dissolve or not is the another criteria. Secondly, sometimes we have to add some alcoholic solutions, some flavors in the form of alcoholic solutions. And if we mix it improperly, then there is a chance of precipitation of that drug or a flavoring agent, even flavoring oil, which is present in the alcoholic form. Therefore, order of mixing is important. Third point is the addition of alcohol. In some cases, we've seen the alcohol is present as a solvent. Means in that case, we have to first dissolve a drug in alcohol and then in the water. Or we have to make hydroalcoholic solution. But when to add alcohol, whether the process have a heating process, heating is involved, then alcohol cannot be mixed in the hot solution or before heating. So therefore, the order of mixing is important from the various angles. The flavors, suppose the flavor is aromatic water, then it have a capacity to volatile, so it will get evaporate. So it should be added at the end, at a room temperature. Mixing of preservatives, whether the preservatives are easily soluble in the given solvent or it requires to prepare the pre-solution of that preservative and that solution to be mixed in the main solvent. At what time the preservative should be added? Usually they are added at last, because if we add in the initial stages, mainly in the suspensions, the preservatives may get adsorbed on the suspending agents, gums, or in the emulsion on the surfactants. Therefore, this order of mixing of preservative is also important. So, preparation of syrup is comparatively simple. Whether drug is soluble either in the syrup or in a other solvents. If it is soluble in the other solvent, dissolve in the other solvent first and then mix with the syrup. The similar is the case with the elixir. If the drug is soluble only in the alcohol or alcohol is the main solvent, then we have to dissolve that drug in the alcohol and we have to mix that alcoholic solution. So this is for mixing of order. Now it is your duty, as per this concept, read each and every method of preparation. You will get an idea about the various questions. You yourself can generate a different questions and you create the answers. So I given the clue to you. Another important point is the storage condition. So in the first preparations only, I told you, see the storage conditions: cool place, cold place, dry place, or protect from direct sunlight. Means read that method of storage condition, and see why that particular storage condition is required. Cool place, is any material is volatile in the formula or anything get precipitate at high temperature or very low temperature? This is the point to check the cool place. Protect from light. Which are the ingredients? That ingredient may be drug or may be additives, correct? So we have to check whether the drug is sensitive to the UV degradation or additive. For example, paracetamol is sensitive, or chloroform spirit or the chloroform is sensitive for that photolytic degradation. Degraded product, what is the condition of that? It is a poisonous, it is inert, or it shows the color change. Likewise, means simple case, if we in the Google, if you write what is the effect of UV light on the paracetamol, you will get that idea. What is the UV effect of light on the chloroform, you will get an idea. And in general, if we keep that syrup at high temperature, then there is chance of evaporation of the water. And if the water get evaporate, it create the different complications, including there are chances of microbial growth. In the first question in the syrup, I asked why to add a preservative in the syrup. This answer and this answer is same, correct? So we have to check that different storage conditions and selection of containers. If it is the white container, there is no issue. It indicates that it is a stable at that light condition. But if the amber colored container, then it indicates that something is there which is sensitive to the UV light. Therefore, we are putting in the amber colored. So, which is that UV light range of UV light which is more photo degrading property it have, that if you get, then it is more than sufficient to explain. So this is the basic part we covered in general for all the previous preparations, and now we go for a piperazine citrate elixir. This piperazine citrate elixir is again very old preparation, which contains piperazine citrate, peppermint spirit, then so that color solution, that is the green essence tartrazine, then the glycerine, syrup, purified water to make 100 ml. Correct. So different questions to initiate the thinking and for your study purpose. Is the elixirs are suitable only for water insoluble drug? If I am creating these questions, you have to check the solubility of piperazine citrate. As in the last preparation, you check the solubility of paracetamol, and I said, and we discussed that paracetamol is slightly soluble drug. Is the piperazine citrate is slightly soluble drug, practically insoluble drug, or it is insoluble drug? You have to check it. The answer is piperazine citrate is soluble drug. Then why elixir is prepared? Correct. So then check another reason I told, the bitterness, whether the piperazine citrate is a bitter, and is there any role of elixir base in the bitterness to minimize the bitterness, that we have to check. So it is the answer for first. Second, why piperazine citrate is formulated as elixir? The same thing. I given the answer for both. What is the role of glycerin here? So as we seen, glycerin is have the viscosity. It gives the body to the preparation. Glycerin have some sweet taste also. Glycerin is a soothing emollient, and a glycerin have some preservative action. So what is the role here? Is it solvent? It is just to give the body to the preparation, that is viscosity to the preparation, or it is for taste or for preservative action. So just if we get the answer for a piperazine citrate solubility, then you will get an answer for real role of glycerin. So topical preparations also contain glycerin, expectorants contain glycerin. Here this piperazine citrate also contains glycerin. Role is slightly different. So role is not common in all the preparation. This is more important, and if you are able to explain this, then you are master in the glycerin use. What is the sugar content of elixir? I am saying that if you see the syrup IP is 50 ml. Means if we check the other quantities, they are hardly 10 ml is the glycerin. Means 100 minus 10, 90. So remaining is alcohol. So alcohol, remaining is the syrup. So that syrup quantity is not to make the final volume. So amount of sugar present in the syrup, can it provide preservative action? Can it provide the preservative action? So this is important. Secondly, that syrup have the sweet taste. Can it blended with the taste of piperazine citrate? So these 2 points we have to check. So therefore, what I told you, what is the percentage of sugar present, and is this syrup is sufficient to provide the preservative action? Or second point is, what is the preservative system in this piperazine citrate elixir, because there is no typical preservative, methyl paraben, propyl paraben, benzoic acid, sodium benzoate, and so all these are absent. So what is the preservative system here? That also you have to see. Why peppermint spirit is used instead of oil? The same reason for chloroform spirit or lemon spirit. Hmm? Just you have to replace the word. What is the indication of piperazine citrate? That is pharmacological therapeutic action or pharmacological action to give the therapeutic. That is anti-helmintic, or it expel the worm. More important is how it expel the worm. What is the pharmacological action? What he does to the worms, or it do some action on our body, or it enhances the peristaltic movement, and the laxation takes place. What is there? What is the role of piperazine citrate? So whether it affects on the worm or whether it affects on our body, this is also important. So you find that and easily will get. What precautions you will take while dispensing this piperazine citrate elixir for kids and adults? So for all the age groups of kids, is this piperazine citrate is permitted to use, and in the case of adults. So what I told in the eighth question, what is the mechanism of action, that is pharmacological action of piperazine citrate? What action it is doing on the worm? If it happens on the human body, then there may be some problem. So typical patient with a typical disorder or the disease, so for that the drug cannot be given, this piperazine citrate, because it affects on a some main function, basic function of that worm also, and it may do same thing on the patient. So you have to check the pharmacological action of piperazine citrate. Definitely it will give the answer for its precaution or possible adverse effects or side effect in the adults also. Name some marketed products. So check really it is present in the market. If it is not present in the market, ask that chemist why it is not there, or how long it is there, likewise, and try to find out whether the marketed preparations are there or not. If it is there, which are these, whether it is present in the dispensaries, that is the district level dispensaries also, this piperazine citrate is dispensed, whether this is included in that formula. So it is additional work. If you want to do the additional work also, if you have the interest, then you can do that. So in this way, you can study the piperazine citrate also, and we are covering almost all the concepts, from dispensing angle, from storage angle, from labeling angle, and from toxicity angle, how that particular formula is developed. So in this way, go on thinking, go on reading, go on supporting. Each and every line given in the pharmacopoeia or given in the textbook can be a question. Who is smart? Who is the talented? Who is the intellectual? The student who can create a question for that particular line, he is a talented and intellectual. Otherwise, some students read pages and pages, but they never find the question. And if we get information of the question, what is the question, what is the problem, there are number of ways to find the solutions, but it is very difficult always to find the problem. Therefore my role is to give you problems, to give you 10 or more questions, and allow you to think, allow you to study, and create knowledge, gain the knowledge, develop knowledge, and be an intellectual and all-rounder, the pharmacist. Thank you.